Hello YouTube, Mike Kohanam here. Gladiator Beasts brought me to the Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading Card Game World Championship in 2009, so I tried to make them work in every single Master Duel event where they could feasibly be used. In some events, they're really strong, like the Fusion Festival, but others pose some unique challenges. The Attribute 4 event is definitely one of those events, but it's not discouraging me from using a Gladiator Beast variant, which I think could do fairly well in this event. While most of the main deck Gladiator Beast cards are of the Wind, Earth, Fire, and Water attributes, so you can use all of them, you lose access to pretty much all of your boss monsters other than Gladiator Beast Heraklinos. Since you also lose access to Gladiator Beast Tamer Editor and Andabada, as well as Gladiator Beast Geysiris, you really need to adjust the way your deck plays for this new Attribute 4 event. In this video, I'm going to show you the deck that I'm planning to use going into the Attribute 4 event, which begins tomorrow. Let me know what you think down in the comments, and if you do enjoy this video, please like it and subscribe to my channel. I'd really appreciate it. So here's the deck I plan to use going into this event. While I don't think it will be one of the strongest decks in the Attribute 4 event, I do definitely think it has what it takes to take its fair share of wins and get the maximum number of medals to claim all of the gems available in this event. Even though most of the main deck monsters are pretty much unaffected, if you look at the forbidden extra deck monsters from the Gladiator Beast theme, you realize how much the deck needs to adjust for this Attribute 4 festival. You lose Domitianus, so you can't even hard summon it fusing Vespasius with 2 Gladiator Beast monsters. You lose Tamer Editor, which means you lose the ability to cheat your other fusion monsters into play with its effect, including Heraklinos. You lose Geysiris, so you can't even fall back on the old way of playing Gladiator Beast, since Geysiris is a dark monster. You lose Nerokius, which doesn't matter too much, but you also lose Andabada, who, if you did have access to some of the other big fusion monsters, could be helpful, but without them, without Geysiris, losing him doesn't even matter much. You lose Gladiator Beast Augustus, which ordinarily is a key card in Gladiator Beasts, but actually does not matter here, since the reason it's a key card is because it makes it easy to summon Tamer Editor, who is forbidden for being a dark monster. So you might be asking, what do we have? And there's really 2 main Gladiator Beast extra deck monsters that make this deck worthwhile. 3 if you count Test Panther, which fortunately you can still use. It's pretty much key to any Gladiator Beast deck in any festival, any advanced format, and is still going to be key here. But the 2 main Gladiator Beast cards, specifically Gladiator Beast monsters themselves that you can still use, are Gladiator Beast Heraklinos, who unfortunately you'll need to fusion summon by combining Laquari with 2 Gladiator Beast monsters from the field, since you have no other way to cheat it into play unless you're using Gladiator Beast United. And the second, and perhaps more important Gladiator Beast monster, which you can still use, is Gladiator Beast Dragaces, which is actually a wind monster. Gladiator Beast Dragaces is a Link 2 winged beast monster, which means you can summon it by using the effects of the Tri-Brigade monsters, by banishing 2 Beast Warrior, or Winged Beast monsters from your graveyard. While it's on the field, if a Gladiator Beast including itself attacks, that monster can't be destroyed by battle, so it pretty much always gets to tag out. Your opponent also can't activate cards or effects until the end of the damage step, so it's not vulnerable to certain trap cards. And at the end of the battle phase, if it battled, you can return it to the deck to special summon 2 Gladiator Beast monsters with different names from your deck. You basically use 1 card to summon Dragaces, the effect of a Tri-Brigade monster, and then can tag it out for Gladiator Beast Darius and Gladiator Beast Laquari, using Darius' effect to special summon a monster, and then fusion summon Laquari, Darius, and the monster Darius summoned back to make Gladiator Beast Heraklinos. So you're able to summon Heraklinos pretty easily. So while you are down to just 1 main boss fusion monster, that is a fusion monster that you can summon using a single card and the attack of the monster that single card summons. So that's going to be one of the main plays with this deck, going second. Once you summon it to the field, you can usually maintain cards in your hand thanks to the effects of cards like Tri-Brigade Nervall, And because I'm running pretty much a full package of Tri-Brigade monsters, you can fairly consistently summon Gladiator Beast Dragocies with the effect of one of your Tri-Brigade monsters. Going first, you also do have access to Simorgh, Bird of Sovereignty. While you can't use the Wind Barrier statue, which I have used in previous Advanced Format iterations of the deck before it was forbidden, you can still use Simorgh's effect to summon Mist Valley Apex Avian, which is right here, a level 7 monster. Turn 1, if you manage to pull off the effects of a Tri-Brigade monster, for example, Fraktall, or even Kitt, which you can summon with Rescue Cat, you'll easily get 3 monsters into the graveyard that you can banish to summon your Simorgh, Bird of Sovereignty, with the effect of a Tri-Brigade monster. In the end phase, it can summon Mist Valley Apex Avian, and if it's still alive in your opponent's end phase, you can even use its effect to summon a different winged beast from your deck, including Gladiator Beast Bestiari and Gladiator Beast Equeste. So that's one of your strong turn 1 plays. You also do have access to Appaloosa, Bow of the Goddess. Although it is not a Gladiator Beast, it is a Wind-type monster, so it is legal in this event. Traditionally, you're going to summon Test Panther using 2 of your monsters. You can use Gladiator Beast Comeback to special summon a Gladiator from your grave, then use Panther's effect to trade in your special summon Gladiator Beast for a Darius. Darius's effect special summons a monster from the grave, and then you can link summon Appaloosa with 3 materials, which is negation for 3 monster effects. That's particularly important, I think, in this deck, because you do lose access to one of the key Gladiator Beast cards, Gladiator Beast Domitianus, which is otherwise capable of negating the effects of effect monsters, particularly the activation of effect monsters. Because you do lose Domitianus, I am using 2 copies of Gladiator Beast War Chariot, which I have cut from previous iterations of the deck. It's noteworthy that War Chariot is searchable by the effect of Test Panther, and again, because this deck is starved of ways to negate monster effects without Domitianus, I am using 2 copies of Equeste, hoping to lean a little bit on the Chariot lock so that I can return the Gladiator Beast War Chariot to my hand and take advantage of the looping effects of Equeste with the War Chariot, just like the old builds of Gladiator Beast used to do in the trading card game back in the day. I had originally used 3 copies of Unexpected Die, 3 copies of Gladiator Beast Andal, and 3 copies of Rescue Rabbit in this deck. If you've seen any of my other Gladiator Beast videos, you would know why those cards were included why those cards are included in most Gladiator Beast decks, and the power that they can bring to the deck for facilitating big fusion summons. But without Gladiator Beast Tamer Editor and so many fewer options to actually summon with them, I didn't think it was really worth the deck space, because it's just not getting you to the field that it was otherwise getting you to in a format where you're allowed to use all of the big boss monsters. The loss of Tamer Editor, the loss of Domitianus, and the loss of Geysiris, I think makes it so that it's not really worth it to just summon 2 normal monsters from your deck with Rabbit. I don't think the extra summon is particularly worth it, just off of Unexpected Die. And for that reason, I did cut it for tech cards like Raigeki, Harpie's Feather Duster, Lightning Storm, and I expanded the Tri-Brigade engine by maxing out on all copies of the Tri-Brigade main deck monsters, other than Kerass, which is a 2 of, to facilitate summoning Dragocies, and aim to summon Heraklinos by tagging out Dragocies instead, which I think is an easier way to do it. With the Andals out of the deck, I can actually remove the Link Spider, and I think I'm going to put 101 Silent Honor Arc in, just because I like the card. I don't really know what to put in that 15th spot, so there it is. I think Relinquished Anima is pretty good too, so you can consider that just because you can summon it with Nervall. I am running a copy of Gladiator Beast Esadari, just because you never know what's going to come up, and you really do have that extra deck space. The Ancient Warriors Oath Double Dragon Lords is a pretty obvious inclusion. You can banish 2 of your Beast Warrior, or Winged Beast from your graveyard to summon it with the effect of a Tri-Brigade monster, which allows you to exert pressure on your opponent's turn with its quick effect. And I am also using Tri-Brigade Rugal just as an option that you're able to summon with the effect of a Tri-Brigade monster. While I dropped the Rescue Rabbit engine, I am running 3 copies of Rescue Cat, which I think is a lot stronger in this deck, because not only can it summon Samnite with another Gladiator to make Test Panther, but you can get Kitt with its effect, so that when you link summon, Kitt's effect will activate to summon Nervall to the grave. Nervall's effect will activate, allowing you to get Kerass, Fraktall, or another Tri-Brigade monster, and then typically you can special summon Kerass from your hand and immediately go off with its effect to either summon Simorgh as a turn 1 play, or Dragacies to set up a powerful tag. Because I don't have access to Gladiator Beasts Geysiris, since it's forbidden, I am using Murmillo as a way to destroy monsters. I was honestly tempted to drop the Bestiari from the main deck, because it's not really usable as a fusion material, except as a generic material for making Esadari or Heraklinos, but I decided to keep 1 copy in just for its effect to destroy opponents' back rows, in case that's relevant in the way the Attribute 4 Festival metagame develops. Let me know what you think down in the comments about Gladiator Beasts and the Attribute 4 Festival. Let me know how you would build this deck, and whether you would also play it as a Tri-Brigade Gladiator Beast deck, relying mainly on Dragacies to help summon Heraklinos, or you would take a totally different approach and drop certain engines for certain tech cards. Let me know if you think there's anything I left out. The festival starts in a day or 2, so I'll put the list down in the description if you want to try it out as a starting point and see what you think. I think Gladiator Beasts are a fun deck to play. They're always my favorite deck to play, so I am excited to try them out even without some of the biggest boss monsters that they've gotten over the years.